How is everybody doing this fine day? I hope everybody's having a great day. I know I am. Today, we are going to go over if RFK is going to take people's SSRIs away, because I've seen many hysterical people on TikTok and on Instagram screaming about if they want to see real violence, take my SSRIs away, because that doesn't make them sound like addicts. It's like so fucking silly to me that we keep seeing this shit. Give me 1 second. I wanted to check out something. RFK, SSRIs.
I found the source of RFK's hot take on SSRIs. Let's look at it. First of all, this is the first thing that I typed.
So people are very upset about this. I did write an article about this just to go over some stuff, but here's my thing. I'm not going to make fun of anybody that's worried about their medications being taken away. But I am going to point out that everybody freaking out about it does show that it is an addictive substance, that these people are addicted. There's a lot of data that shows that quitting SSRIs after being on them for a prolonged period of time is harder than quitting heroin. Like, I believe the American people, the American public, has been very misled by the healthcare industrial complex about SSRIs and other antidepressants. And this is not a joke. Like, this is not me kidding around. I believe that the American public has been purposefully misled by public health and the healthcare industrial complex about the dangers, the possible side effects and stuff like that about SSRIs and other antidepressants. And I do believe that they are being prescribed at a ridiculous rate. I mean, fully ridiculous rate. When about 80% of the time they're prescribed by a general practitioner that doesn't have that literally goes gets a GP does a few weeks of internship in the psych ward. That's it. They don't go to school for this shit. They don't go to school for diagnosis. They don't go to school for anything like that. But yet they'll prescribe somebody a medication with very serious side effects that they're meant to be on for life, oftentimes without even blood work. Like, they'll say it's for a chemical imbalance in the brain. No blood work is done in the vast majority of cases to check on any type of chemical imbalance. Most of the time, when a psychiatrist prescribes antidepressants, SSRIs, mood stabilizers, they don't do any blood work or tests. They just assume there's a chemical imbalance. And I'm going to argue that that's likely fucked up. First of all, I would bet that the average person that's on SSRIs also has other problems like weight issues and things like that. I'm sure there is exception because everybody can get depressed. But I'm going to honestly say that, obviously being fat, eating ultra-processed foods, not getting enough sleep, being chronically dehydrated, not getting any activity, and barely ever seeing sunlight, that's kind of a recipe for depression, any of those. So, I mean, normally the person's lifestyle is pretty fucked up when they're depressed. I mean, there are, again, exceptions, but it is what it is. The side effects are ridiculous for what they're supposed to do. It's unbelievable that suicidal ideation is a side effect of SSRIs and people keep taking them. That's what I'm saying. Dude, Alan, this current boss psychiatrist doesn't order blood work. I've been telling client after client to get it done. That's wild. So here's my thing too. Especially when it comes to men, and I have an article about this also. When it comes to men, if you're a middle-aged dude, or if you're in your 30s, 40s, and you're depressed and you're having a hard time keeping weight off, shit like that, you probably should get your T levels checked, not go on an SSRI. SSRIs actually cause more lethargia and stuff like that, where, it's not good. So basically, the article that I wrote is literally about SSRIs versus lifestyle. And I thought it would be an interesting take for everybody to see, because very frankly, this is the type of stuff I think we should be doing. We should be definitely looking towards lifestyle to fix most everything, right? Oh my God, you had no idea? I had no idea the side effect. It's SSRIs there's a black box warning on them for suicidal ideation and depression. There's a black box warning on it for that. It's fucking wild. So, but here we go. We're about to get the article up. This is on my X account, by the way. You can go follow me at the MFing COO. That is right here. You can use this to go to either Instagram or onto X, and you can use that name and follow me. That's who I am. And this is my article, SSRIs versus lifestyle. Do pills beat placebos or just your will to live? And this was an interesting read and interesting research. It really was. And again, for those of you that don't know, I'm writing an article or two every single day with the help of Grok, finding the data for me, and then I proofread, read it over. I love this for a couple reasons. One, I'm able to put out stuff that has scientific and academic sources based off of what I've been saying for nearly a decade now, especially about in the last 5 years about the COVID pandemic and public health and everything like that, showing my arguments scientifically proven. But also, I am also learning a great deal about these topics too, even more in depth than I already had, and I love that. So anytime I can do that is awesome. But let's talk about the selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, SSRIs. They've been the poster children of mental health treatment for decades. Prozac, Zoloft, Lexapro, you name it, pitched as the go-to fix for everything from a rough week to a full-blown depressive spiral. The narrative's been polished to shine. Low serotonin equals low mood, and SSRIs are here to save the day. Except, well, the science doesn't quite agree. In fact, it's starting to look like these pills might not be much better than placebo with a good PR team. Meanwhile, there's a quieter, less glamorous contender waiting in the wings: lifestyle upgrades. Think avoiding ultra-processed foods, getting more exercise, staying hydrated, maintaining a healthy weight, and clocking decent sleep. Not exactly headline-grabbing stuff, but the evidence suggests it might just outshine the SSRI hype and without the side effects. So let's unpack this. We'll dig into the research, question the serotonin story, and explore why trading your prescription pad for a grocery list and a pair of sneakers could be the real game changer. Spoiler, the data's compelling, and it's not brought to you by Big Pharma, which is awesome. But by the way, also, just so everybody understands, I've said it many times, actual healthcare is eating a whole food nutrition diet, staying away from ultra-processed foods in almost their entirety, being properly hydrated, getting proper vitamin supplementation or health supplementation when necessary, intelligent, making sure you don't have any micro and macronutrient holes, getting plenty of protein, plenty of amino acids, getting proper sleep, stress relief, those sort of things, and working out 5 times a week. That is healthcare. We just don't want to view it as healthcare. People don't want to participate in their healthcare, so they want everybody to subsidize sick care. People don't want to participate in their own healthcare, which is working out, eating right, getting proper sleep, hydration, not gluttoning yourself to 400 fucking pounds. That would be healthcare. When they don't do that, then sick care charges all of us to take care of them. And that's reality. The serotonin hypothesis, a wobbly foundation. SSRIs were built on a tiny little theory. Depression stems from a serotonin shortage, and blocking its reuptake in the brain fixes the problem. It's a compelling story, clean, logical, and oh so marketable. The trouble is the evidence has been less cooperative. A landmark 2020 umbrella review by Moncrief et al. In Molecular Psychology threw a wrench into its narrative. After sifting through decades of studies, they found no consistent link between serotonin levels or its metabolites and depression. One more time. After sifting through decades of studies, they found no consistent link between serotonin levels or its metabolites and depression. None. Zero. Zilch. That's a problem when your whole drug class hinges on a chemical imbalance that might not even exist. This isn't the lone outlier either. A 2015 analysis by Andrew et al. In Neuroscience and Biobehavioral Review suggested that the serotonin hypothesis oversimplified a messy reality, with brain chemistry adapting in unpredictable ways to long-term SSRI use, sometimes even counteracting the intended effect. And let's not forget Lacasse and Leo's 2005 critique in Plios Medicine, which pointed out that the serotonin story was more marketing genius than scientific gospel, leaning heavily on correlation rather than causation. So if the foundation's shaky, what about the results? SSRI versus placebo, a surprisingly close race. Here's where it gets interesting. SSRIs do show results in clinical trials. Nobody's denying that. A 2018 meta-analysis by Capriani et al., in The Lancet reviewed 522 studies and found these drugs edged out placebo for major depression but the devil's in the details. The effect size, a modest 0.3. For context, that is a small enough difference that many patients might not even notice it over their morning cup of coffee. That's wild. A 2010 study by Fortier et al. In JAMA drilled deeper and found that for mild to moderate depression, where most prescriptions are written, the gap between SSRIs and placebo shrinks to nearly invisible. Severe cases fare a bit better, but even then, it's not a knockout punch, which is wild because they're like, oh, this will help you, this will help you. It doesn't help you that much, even when it does help you. Like if you have severe depression, it shows it helps you a little bit, but not that much. There's a lot about the placebo, which we're about to talk about too, but it should be noted that, it's not the thing that it is pretended to be. There's a Kirch et al. 2008 analysis in PLOS magazine, Medicine, which combined through FDA data, including unpublished trial drug markers conveniently sidelined. Their verdict: SSRIs beat placebo by just 1.8 points on the 50-point Hamilton Depression Scale. That's less than 10% of the scale. A nudge, not a leap. A 2017 review by Jacobson et al. In BMJ Open echoed this, not noting that while statistically significant, the clinical clinical relevance of such tiny gains is questionable at best. Enter the placebo effect, stage left. A 2015 study by Rutherford et al. In Journal of Clinical Psychiatry highlighted how belief in treatment can trigger real neurochemical shifts. Think dopamine and endorphins, mimicking what SSRIs claim to do. Meanwhile, a 2019 paper by Fava in Physiotherapy and Psychotherapy and Psychomatics argued that placebo response in antidepressant trials are often inflated by patients' expectations and doctors' enthusiasm. So are SSRIs working, or are we just really good at talking ourselves into feeling better? Tough call, especially when you factor in side effects like weight gain, fatigue, and the libido that goes on permanent vacation. That's by Haddad Anderson, 2007. The hidden data, bias, and buried trials. If the placebo comparison isn't damaging enough, let's talk about the studies that were not seen. Publication bias in the industry's little open secret. Turner et al. 2008 bombshell in the New England Journal of Medicine revealed that 74 FDA-registered SSRI trials, positive ones always made it to the print, 37 out of 38, while negative or inconclusive ones often vanished into the ether, only 11 of 36 published. A 2012 review by Ioannidis in Trends in Molecular Medicine underscored how the cherry picking distorts the evidence, leaving with a rosier picture than reality warrants. And those trials that do see the daylight, they're often short-term, 6 to 12 weeks, while patients stay on SSRIs for months or years and even decades. A 2017 study by Hartner et al. In Frontiers in Psychiatry warned that long-term use can lead to tolerance, withdrawal symptoms, and even a paradoxical worsening of symptoms. A 2020 paper by Horowitz and Taylor in Lancet Psychiatry added that discontinuation effects can mimic relapse, trapping users inside a cycle of dependency. Compare that to placebo track records: 0 withdrawals, 0 long-term risk, and a surprisingly competitive showing. Now, if you look for lifestyle, the underdog to data with the data to back it up. So if SSRIs are stumbling, what's the alternative? Brace yourself for some earth-shattering advice from me. Eat better, move more, drink water, and keep your weight in check. Sleep like it's your job. I know it sounds like a big health cliche, but hear me out. Ultra-processed foods, that neon-colored snack aisle might as well come with a mood warning label. A 2019 study by I can't even pronounce the name, et al. In the British Journal of Nutrition tied high ultra-processed food intake to increased depression risks, likely via inflammation and gut disruption. Conversely, a 2021 meta-analysis by Lane et al. In Nutrients found diets rich in whole foods, fruits, vegetables, nuts, fish, cut depression odds significantly. Why? Your gut microbiome, as Firth et al. 2019 explained in Psychosomatic Medicine, talks to your brain via the vagus nerve and processed junk throws that conversation off script. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Exercise. Yes, exercise again, because it keeps showing up in the data like an overachieving intern. 2018 meta-analysis by Scholes et al. In the American Journal of Psychiatry pegged its effect size at 0.66 for depression, doubling SSRIs, best day, by the way. A 2020 study by Harvard et al. In depression and anxiety showed even light movement like walking boosts hippocampal neurogenesis and process dulled in depression. No prescription needed, just consistency. Hydration. Your brain's 75% water. Yes, we need to treat it like an optional. We can't treat it like an optional accessory. A 2018 study by Pros et al. In PLOS1 linked mild dehydration to mood dips and cognitive fog. Benton et al. 2016 review in Nutrients backed this up. Proper hydration stabilizes emotional regulation, yet it's simply overlooked. Healthy weight, obesity and depression are tag team nobody invented. A 2020 study by Malchinski et al. In Molecular Psychiatry tied excess fat to chronic inflammation and cortisol dysregulation, both mood killers. A 2017 paper by Opel et al. In JAMA Psychiatry found that shedding weight reverses some of these effects, lifting mental fog alongside physical bulk. Sleep. Skimp on shut-eye and the brain throws a tantrum. A 2000 meta-analysis in Psychology Bulletin confirmed insomnia doubles depression risks. And a 2021 study in sleep showed 7 to 9 hours nightly slashes symptoms by rewiring stress circuits. And then if we look at it, why lifestyle might be the smart bet. Let's stack the deck. SSRIs are offer modest gains, if that, over placebo, with a side effect of long-term question marks and a hefty dose of bias in the data. Lifestyle changes, they're backed by robust multidisciplinary evidence, cost less than a monthly copay, and don't leave you Googling, why am I so tired on antidepressants? A 2019 review of Saris et al. In World Psychiatry even argues that combining these factors, diet, exercise, sleep, creates a synergistic effect that SSRIs can't touch. So that is my spiel on this. And I hope everybody understands that I am not suggesting that you just go off of your SSRIs. I'm not suggesting that you just, say, fuck it, I'm not taking this shit no more. That would be very bad. That would be very bad, because most SSRIs come with a decent amount of withdrawal symptoms, and it's just not a good thing. So what I do suggest, though, is that you talk to your doctor, the prescribing doctor, about a pathway to get off of SSRIs. It's wild that they'll prescribe a medication and they just keep it going. Like, there are people that are probably on Lexapro that were prescribed Lexapro like 30 fucking years ago. They just keep getting that shit refilled, right? And that's fucking wild to me. It really is. Like, we have become so accustomed to the concept that you can take a pill or take a shot for everything, like everything. Like, if you had, like, if here's my thing, if they did the blood work and it showed, yes, this is a chemical imbalance in their brain shown in their blood work, we should put them on this. That's one thing. But just as I've told you, about 80% of prescribing doctors are not even psychiatrists. They're general practitioners, and they don't run blood work to see if you have a chemical imbalance in your brain. You just tell a general practitioner with almost no training in mental health care at all, you tell them that you're depressed and they give you a prescription. That's not a doctor. That is a drug dealer. They aren't. Their general practitioners are not more qualified than the average person to prescribe you SSRIs. They don't get the training to even know what they fucking do to the person, really. And I'm sorry if people disagree, but one rotation for to get your to become a doctor, one rotation with the psych ward, that is not qualified to be prescribing a medication. You're prescribing something that has deleterious side effects, including suicidal ideation. That is a black box warning for it, without any actual testing and without any actual training. That is an addictive substance. That's a drug dealer. And I can show you, you can go to TikTok and look up RFK SSRIs and see the ridiculous number of people that are literally threatening violence if SSRIs would be taken away. Threatening violence. I got a newsflash for you. If you can't regulate yourself so much off SSRIs, maybe you got problems. And I'm not saying you shouldn't be on an SSRI. But what I am saying is maybe we shouldn't trust you with other shit either. What if you miss a pill or two? When you say that you're an irrational person, society should treat you like you're a fucking irrational person. You know, and that's just where I'm at with it. So I will take some Q&A. Whoop. Land designer, that's exactly what they did to my son. I was lucky he said no. Good for him. The GP was ready to give him an RX before any blood work was done. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. Pharmaceutical intervention should be the last resort right before surgery, is the absolute last resort. Like, lifestyle should be prescribed, but the problem is they don't teach lifestyle to doctors, which is why they're not healthcare. What Crystal, myself, Mark Lobliner, what we do, that's healthcare. We help people to get and stay healthy. We try to get people off their medications, off pharmaceuticals. That is health care. We try to make it so that they're healthy enough where they don't need the pharmaceutical industry. They don't need the healthcare industry as much. The healthcare industry is sick care. Like, they want you to stay that way. There's not like, oh, your general practitioner is going to put you on something for depression. Did they give you a game plan of how you're going to get off it? No. It's wild. I had mild depression and anxiety. I was treated when I found out I have hypothyroidism with Armor or NP thyroid, 60 milligrams. Fine now. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. One more time, guys. Just wanted to say, here is where you can get. You can sign up for a consultation. It is $24.99. It gives you the app for a month, a 30-minute consultation with either myself or Crystal. It also makes it so you can. We can put a program on there for you. You can track your nutrition on there if you want to. You're a member of the Hunger Management and the Habits group. You can send direct messages to either myself or Crystal. Please do join us. And I hope that to see many of you join the app. It'll be fun. You can join me for live and pre-recorded classes. I have a class tomorrow I'm teaching. So please do check that out. To lend credence to Alan's point, the NP that had me on Zoloft was probably 100 pounds overweight. Like, physically, I'm an Adonis compared to who gave me the script. It's wild, right? It's absolutely insane. Totally crazy. Totally nuts. Totally wild. Ketelin, because from my understanding, standard blood work does not look at everything that is important. I've heard you have to ask for more specific blood work. Of course you do. Like, they won't test they rarely test T levels. If it's a 250-pound average adult male in their mid 30s, 250-pound average height male in their mid 30s, before they would be put on any type of antidepressant or anything else, they should likely be checked, have their T levels checked, and probably be put on TRT. And women's hormone levels should be checked just the same. I mean, if they keep us hormonally unhealthy, we stay unhealthy, right? That's the fucking rub right there. That's the shit right there. But great point. Thank you very much. Thanks to Alan, I got off my pity party and started to work out as much as I can. I'm back down over 25 pounds. Fuck yeah! Everybody congratulate Norma. That's outstanding. Great job, Norma. How long is the promo going on? Just a couple days. Just like today, tomorrow. Just, hopefully see people get on the app. Maybe I could. You know what? I'll run it to the end of the week. That said, the type of blood work you do recommend, what's best to ask to seek out. You should. And if you're a woman, be careful what's going on in estrogen. It can cause breast cancer. Yes and no. It depends on your progesterone and stuff like that balance too. They'll do a whole markup on you, and if it's a matter of your hormones are out of balance and like you have no energy, I'd rather have you have energy to keep the weight off. And you should ask for. I would along with everything else they do, T levels, estrogen levels, progesterone levels. You definitely want your inflammation levels. You want the test that judges whether you have any insulin sensitivity or not, or insulin resistance or not. Like you want to know the important shit. It's wild that they don't test for a lot. They test your cholesterol though because they want to get you on that fucking statin, even though cholesterol is really not the problem, and statins really have horrible fucking side effects, like horrible side effects. You're better off with nattokinase, citrus bergamot, and vitamin K. And I know somebody that's going to be taking care of that relatively soon. Time to be an adult. Excuse me. I got to get kids. I hear you. Time for me to be an adult also. I am going to go cook my food for the afternoon. Here, by the way, boom. Here is one more time where you can get the consultation. It's a month of the app. It is the Hunger Management and Habits Group. You get a 30-minute consultation with either myself or Crystal, whichever you choose. You get to participate in all the groups, participate in the live and pre-recorded classes. You get to track your nutrition. You get to, see the recipes on there. We can put one of our pre-done programs on there for you. It's all good. In fact, it comes with pre-recorded classes on there, and it comes with a 411 program that my wife just wrote. She's a fucking genius when it comes to this shit. So that it automatically comes with that already, but we can switch it out for you. So everybody do check that out. I hope it's $24.99. So it's very, very inexpensive. You get the app and a consultation for that. Please do check it out. We will talk soon. Goddamn.
The Holy Trinity Bundle isn't just about weight loss. It's about empowering you to find your healthiest, happiest self. Let's talk about what's in the bundle and how it caters specifically to our needs. First, we got Ember, which is not just any fat burner. It's also going to boost your mood, your energy levels, while also suppressing your appetite. And if you're worried about it being too strong, you can split the tablet in half to tailor its impact. Next, we have Alchemy NCT, which turns the carbs that you eat into energy and not fat. Yes, energy, not fat. This is our way of making sure that the meals that you eat contribute positively to your weight loss journey. And girls, we all know that we want that. And finally, no morbidity. This one's my favorite because it works while you sleep. It burns fat and controls those nighttime cravings without any stimulants, so you wake up feeling refreshed. Try it out and feel the genuine difference. Here's to new beginnings and real results.